In this week's episode of the Ask the Big podcast, we're going to be talking about how to build a referral-based, sphere of influence-based business. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Ask the Bic podcast, where you'll hear answers to the most frequently asked questions from North Carolina real estate brokers. Submit your questions via email to askthebic@gmail.com. That's askthebic@gmail.com.
Well, welcome to another week of the Ask the Big podcast. My name is Russ Lockamy. I've been a broker in charge in the Raleigh, North Carolina area for going on 13 years now. This week's question is, how do I build a business based on my sphere of influence and that's referral based? Well, I'm going to be going over this in 3 steps. There's really 3 steps. And we got this information from Jeremy Allen. He is an agent in the Virginia Beach area that is just killing it. He came to our firm this week to speak to our agents and talk to them about this very topic. And he's just built a huge business on just referrals and pouring into his sphere of influence. And clients come back to him over and over again. They send all their families, friends, acquaintances to him. And, he just continues to get referral after referral from his past clients, from even people that, don't end up buying or using him. They refer their friends, family, coworkers to him. And so he came and gave us a whole presentation, talked for like 2.5 hours about everything that he does. So I'm going to be relaying some of that information to you, and really it's kind of based on 3 different steps. The first one being you have to provide an excellent experience. In order to get that referral at the end or during or even before you even start working with them, you got to provide an excellent experience, and that really starts with gratitude. One thing Jeremy talked about is giving a gift at the first possible contact. So you go in for that buyer presentation or that listing appointment, give them a gift before you do anything else. He likes to give like a cork bottom coffee mug. He gave me one when he came, and they're super simple gift, easy to transport. You can keep some in your car. But it just means a lot to start with that gratitude. Throughout the transaction, though, you want to make sure you have great two-way communication as well. In order to provide that excellent experience, you've really got to understand what your clients are looking for. Not just you communicating with them, which is very important and something that agents sometimes aren't the best at. Answering your phone calls, returning phone calls. Staying ahead of communication, having a weekly kind of update call with your sellers and buyers. But also you got to listen. You got to listen to what their needs, concerns, fears are, and help them through, the whole process. Not just, you talking to them, but make sure you listen. We like to call listing appointments. Agent Rise has kind of taught us to call them listening appointments. Right, because we want to listen to what that client is really needing in the transaction, and then find ways to show excellence. Right, so something like a handwritten note can be as simple as that. After you have that listing appointment, just send them a handwritten note, like have that to do right afterwards. Just thanking them for the opportunity and that kind of thing. One thing Jeremy likes to do is, for his sellers, he likes to find out, especially if they're moving away, what their favorite restaurant is. He finds that out at the beginning, and then after, we get under contract, after, all the inspection contingencies, due diligence period's over, he gets them a gift card to that restaurant and gives it to them and says, hey, I know this is your favorite restaurant. I know you're going to miss it. Have dinner one last time there on me. And another thing for his first-time home buyers that he does, he got like a big red ribbon with big scissors. Makes it an experience rather than just a transaction. You don't want to be a transactional agent, but you want to be a relationship agent, and that really starts with the experience. You want to give them something to talk about when they're referring you to their friends, families, and coworkers later on. But it starts with that. Like, it cannot end with that. Clients, I think the numbers are like 90+% of home buyers don't end up using the same realtor when they sell their home. Why is that? It's not always that they didn't do a great job. It's just that agent didn't do a great job earning that referral and that second time. So the excellent experience starts with that, but it definitely doesn't end with that. The second thing is you got to ask for the referral without really asking for the referral. Most agents, they'll go through the whole transaction, and then at the end, they'll send a link to Zillow or a link to their testimonial software or something like that, and then just kind of put in there, hey, I love your referrals, and don't forget to send me anybody that's looking to buy or sell that you know. That's not the way to do it. The way that the way that we like to teach people is to ask for it at the beginning, right? So and without really asking. What you want to do is, before you even really sign the listing agency or sign the buyer agency agreement, you start that conversation with, hey, I have a referral-based business. I work almost exclusively with people who are referred to me by my past clients, my friends, my family. And throughout this process, I'm going to show you just an excellent experience. And my goal is, at the end of this, that you're just not going to have an excellent experience, but that you're going to want to send referrals to me and talk about me to your friends and family and coworkers. That you start with that at the beginning, right? And set that expectation. And then during the transaction, you're going to want to look for the cue for that ask for the referrals. Times like for buyers, for instance, if you go out and show multiple days homes, you show 6 homes one day, 7 the next day, and that buyer's just having a hard time finding the right fit, and then they you can kind of tell when they kind of feel bad, and they're like, man, you've been so awesome, I'm sorry, we're gonna buy something, they'll say something like that to you. That's your cue to say, look, this is what I do, it's not a problem at all, and then you kind of come in with that. It's totally fine. I'm here to bring you that excellent experience, so that again, that you'll look to refer me business down the road. So you just look for those cues to remind them throughout the process. And then the other thing that you want to do is, when you do get referrals from your past clients, from your friends, families, and coworkers, you get referrals from them, make sure to keep them in the loop. Show gratitude to that referrer, and make sure to give an opportunity and ask that person that you've been referred to go back to the person that referred them to you and tell them how great of a job that you've done. You want to show that gratitude. Maybe send a handwritten note to them, maybe a gift card to that favorite restaurant, again, something like that, just to show them how much that you really how much it means to you that they've referred business to you. Again, number one, you got to provide that excellent experience. Number two, you have to ask for the referral and do it in a way that's asking without asking. And then number three, you've got to stay in touch. You got to earn their brain space. And there's a couple of tips that we've got for you to do that as well. Number one, and this is a thing, like the first two, you kind of have to have a client, right? So if you're a brand new agent, that's kind of hard to do, right? Number three, though, this third thing of how to build a business based on referrals and based on your sphere of influence, you can do this even if you've never had a sale. You've got to earn their brain space. And the way that you do that is you got to create a database. You got to create a database of all of your friends, families, and coworkers, and you want to segment those people, and you want to ID your A pluses. And Jeremy identifies his A pluses as those people who are just basically walking billboards for him. They just cannot wait to tell people about how good of a real estate agent Jeremy is, and they look for those opportunities, to share how good of a real estate agent Jeremy is. So you want to identify those people and really concentrate on earning the brain space of those people. So everybody in your database, they should get a mailing. Integra, we encourage our agents to do a monthly newsletter in the mail to their database every month. And you want to identify maybe around 100 people. If you don't quite get 100 people, maybe you've just moved to the area or something like that, that's okay. You got to start somewhere, but you want to try and get 100 people in your newsletter that you're mailing to every month. And then beyond that, you also want to find out their birthdays, give them a call, send them a card, something like that on their birthday. And if they are a past client, you want to send them a home anniversary card or just reaching out to them. Communicating with that database is key to earning their brain space. And then those A pluses, you want to do target events. And this is another thing from Jeremy. And that could just be, take them out to golf. If you're a golfer, if they like golf, if they're not much of a golfer, maybe Drive Shack or Top Golf or something like that. Take them just out to dinner, a comedy show, a movie, anything, that you can do to spend time with that targeted A pluses that you've identified. And, these might be people that are, close friends of you, and maybe you hang out with them, other times, just, as friends. But you need to identify them and make sure that they know that, you're taking them out to dinner in appreciation for what they do for your business, or what they're going to do for your business if you're starting out. And then again, find those opportunities to show gratitude to your database. So give gifts, do pop buys, do those cork bottom coffee mugs. Refer to them. If they own a business or they work somewhere that you can refer business to them, do that. And then if finances work out and allow you to, do events for them. Jeremy, he does a huge pie party event, invites a couple hundred people, and that might not fit in your resources right now, but you could do a pie party in your firm's office and hand out pies to your sphere of influence there. But make sure you're just showing or finding ways to show gratitude to that database and letting them know that you cannot survive without their referrals. Letting them know that they're important, that is the key right there. So I hope this helps you guys out and answers the question. As always, if you like this content, please subscribe to this channel, and if you got any questions that you'd like to be featured in a future episode, just drop that question in the comments below. And again, my name is Russ Lockamy with the Ask the BIC podcast. And as always, life is short, so take action, but don't take it too seriously. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Ask the BIC podcast. To have your question answered on a future episode, email us at askthebic@gmail.com. That's askthebic@gmail.com.